Okay, magandang araw po sa lahat. Ito po si Attorney Aldrin B. Gregorio at in this video, pag-usapan natin yung bagong rules na, well, not, ito. Pag-usapan natin itong 2024 DOJ NPS Rules on Summary Investigation and Expedited Preliminary Investigation. Issued kahapon, November 13, 2024. So today is November 14. Actually, di pa naman effective kasi 15 calendar days from publication eh. Diba? Um, ngayon, nakakaisang araw pa lang naman. Pero syempre gusto natin maagap. And at the same time, I wanted to discuss as well to you yung DC 27 at yung DC 28. Okay. So, ano ba yung DC 27 na sinasabi mo, Attorney Aldrin? Yung DC 27, yung rule on appeal. Okay? Share screen ko lang. Um, share screen. Okay, so discuss natin to briefly. Then, discuss din natin DC 27 Rules on Appeal, um, dated July 13, 2022. At yung discuss din natin yung DC 28 of this year naman. Share screen, DC 28. The rule on summary investigation and expedited preliminary investigation. So, sorry, hindi, ito yan. Ito yung DC 28, November 13, 2024. Ito yung nirelease kahapon ng Department of Justice effective 15 days. Okay. Um, yung isa is yung nauna, yung naunang circular, which is DC 15. Okay? Share screen ko lang. DC 15, series of 2024. Uh, okay, so ito yung DC 15. Ito yung nauna, July 16, 2024. Ito yung 2024 Rules on Preliminary Investigation and Inquest Proceedings. So, talakayin natin yan lahat. So, to summarize, ah, pag-usapan natin ngayong araw, tatlong bagay. Yung, I'll just make some annotations na. Um, so, yung tatlong bagay na discuss ko, medyo di ko maano yung font eh. Di ko ma, di ko ma-redo. Wala. Ano ba i-edit to? Maando eh. Wait lang ah. Yan. So, yan yung di-discuss natin, yung rule on appeal, DC 27, July 13, 2022, yung naunang circular, um, DC 15, July 16, 2024, at yung nirelease kahapon, yung DC 28, November 13, 2024. Okay? So, yeah. So, kuha ko ng whiteboard Wait lang. Whiteboard. Ano ba mag-whiteboard? Nakalimutan ko. Lang ha? Ano ba mag-whiteboard dito? Forgot. Ah, palang. Hmm. Sige, dito na nga lang. Hello, hello. Dito ko na nalagay sa ilalim yung aking notes para hindi masyadong maano. Isa na lang. Share screen, yung DC-15. Okay, so dito natin ilagay yung notes natin. Ibang notes. Okay. So first, magiging medyo intensive yung discussion kasi what we're about to discuss is at the very heart of our criminal justice system. Kasi syempre kapag mayroong kaso sa Office of the Prosecutor, no? Um, these rules will work in real life. It will change the lives of the clients, the complainant, di ba? The respondent. And very crucial yung one procedure. Siyempre, one procedure mistake na hindi natin maintindihan doon sa process may have prejudicial effects. So, discuss natin yung preliminary investigation, discuss natin yung inquest, di ba? Expedited, yung summary, and with the end in mind of protecting our clients' rights. Because, syempre, gusto rin ng Department of Justice na mapa-expedite yung cases nila. So, to summarize, ano ba yung mga developments, Attorney Aldrin? Ito ba yung pinaka-importanting development? Summarize ko lang in very short bullets. Yung pinaka-importanting ano dyan, developments, ay ito. Yan. Summary investigation kung yung offense, felony or crime, the imposable penalty thereof is 1 day to 1 year. Meron din tinatawag na expedited preliminary investigation. Ito naman yung mga kaso na ang imposable penalty is 1 year and 1 day to 6 years. And finally, yung regular preliminary investigation na 6 years and 1 day pataas. So, 'di ba dati may rule 4-1, no? 4 years, 2 months, 1 day. Ito na ho yung gagamitin natin. Yung 6 years and 1 day pataas. Yun na yung regular PI. So, yun. Magano lang ako ng panibagong notes. Okay. Stop share for a bit. Dito tayo para maliwanag lahat. Mag-ano na lang ako ng Microsoft Word para maliwanag lahat. Okay. So, share screen. Okay. Yan. So, sabi natin kanina, may tatlong uh, investigation na ang Office of the Prosecutor, no? Summary investigation, expedited, PI, regular PI. Ngayon, kung merong ano, yung importante dito yung timeline, di ba? Um, so kung ang summary investigation, immediate resolution yan. Kung expedited PI, 20 calendar days. Kung regular PI, 60 calendar days. Pwede rin ma-extend ng 30 days for very specific cases, yung capital offenses, complex issues, cases with counter charges, consolidated complaints, at reassigned cases. So, yan yung rule dyan. Okay? Itan ko lang ng konti para maraming masulat. Mhm. Okay. So, susunod na punto ay yung virtual proceedings. Diba? Meron ng virtual proceedings tayo, standardized naman yan. Meron technical requirements, may platforms, documentation requirements, meron din. Itatalakayin natin mamaya. Okay, next point is yung preliminary investigation. Kasi dun sa revised rules of criminal procedure, ang findings or ang quantum of evidence is, di ba, probable cause. Ngayon, ang quantum of evidence na is yung prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. So, mas mataas yung standard ngayon. Okay? So, si prosecutor, kailangan kumbinsido siya na if the evidence is left uncontroverted, okay, it would lead to conviction beyond reasonable doubt. Mas mataas yung standards. Okay? So, to sabi ng DC-15, okay? Sabi ng DC-15, um, sabi ng DC-15, the evidence must be admissible, credible, capable of being preserved, and sufficient to establish all elements of the crime. Okay? So, yun yung sabi ng DC-15. And when you file a complaint affidavit, we need to have the original copy, two duplicate copies for official file, and copies for each respondent. And syempre yung IDF. Okay? So, if kulang, the prosecutor will require the complainant or the law enforcement agency, tawagin nating LEA, to submit the lacking evidence. So, wala na yung file ng file. Kailangan, um, kasi yung prosecution office now has more responsibility to ensure that the cases are strong from the very beginning. So, pagka-file, okay, pagka-receive ng prosecutor, within 5 calendar days from receipt, the investigating prosecutor has two options. Okay? Within 5 calendar days from receipt, the investigating prosecutor has two options. Number one, recommend dismissal or issue subpoena. Okay? Issue subpoena. So the subpoena must set the hearing within 30 days. And the respondent gets at least 10 days to submit their counter affidavit. So very important yung timeline na yan, no? Ngayon, meron tayong tinatawag na clarificatory hearing na under the new circular, can the prosecutor conduct a clarificatory hearing? Yes. Okay? So after receiving the counter affidavit, um, the prosecutor can now has two options after receiving the counter affidavit by the um, respondent. Number one, consider the case submitted for resolution or set it for clarificatory hearing. Okay? So Attorney Aldrin, kailan ba pwedeng mag-set ng clarificatory hearing? Okay? Anytime ba? Sabi ng Section 10F, no? When there are facts and issues that need to be clarified from a party or a witness. Okay, yung clarificatory na hearing na yan must be set within 10 calendar days. So, tingnan natin yung Section 10F. So, naka-share screen na ba? Hindi pa pala. Okay, so annotate ko lang. So, highlight. Highlight. So, when there are facts and so when there are uh, facts and issues to be clarified, yan, magkakaroon ng clarificatory hearing. So, balik tayo dun sa notes natin kanina, which is, so yan, yun yung ano dyan, yun yung rule dyan. Okay. Um, So dun sa naka-codify na ngayon, no? Nakasaad na sa alituntunin sa rules na yung tinatawag na virtual PI. Okay? So let me explain how this works. So instead of physically appearing in the office of the prosecutor, office of the city prosecutor, ganyan, um, you can now conduct hearing through video conferencing. Pero may conditions yan. Okay, may conditions, hindi pwedeng basta natanggap mo yung subpoena, okay lang yan, hindi naman kailangan pumunta dyan. Sabi mo sa kliyente mo, kunyara respondent's lawyer ka. Hindi mo ako bahala. Online lang tayo. Punta ka na sa Palawan, mag-Boracay ka, kahit sa Boracay tayo preliminary investigation. Walang problema dyan. Ako bahala sa iyo, client. O yan, magaling pa. Hindi pwede kasi sabi ho ng rules, no? Sabi ng rules, okay? Video. Sabi ng rules, both parties must be present at the initial hearing. Okay? Both must have access to ICT, Information Communication Technology, and both must agree to continue virtually. So, hindi pwede mo impose doon sa kabilang panig na hindi magano tayo. Virtual tayo at the first hearing, hindi pwede. Kailangan yung requirements na to ay masunod. Okay? Kailangan yung requirements na yan ay masunod. Mas maganda pala ganito. Pwedeng i-review yun. Okay, next. So, um, doon naman doon sa pagfa-file, e-filing naman. Yung mga pleadings kailangan PDF format. Tapos, syempre, hindi naman tayo maliligaw kasi si prosecutor, he or she will issue an order containing the official email address, contact details, schedule of hearings, and access details for the video conference. Okay? So to review, no? To review, pag regular PI, kailangan ma-dispose yan. 60 calendar days. Pwede bang ma-extend? As a general rule, no extension. Exception, 30 days extension for capital offenses, complex issues, no? Saan ba yun? Wala pala. Okay? Cases with counter charges, consolidated complaints, and reassigned cases. So, kailangan ma-resolve yan within that time. Attorney Aldo, paano kung inquest? Dapat within the day. Kailangan ma-transmit na to head of office the next working day. So, tignan natin to. Um, Under DC 28 of 2024, yung na-release kahapon, okay, dated November 13, we now have three different types of investigation. Diba? Diniscuss ko kanina very briefly. Meron tayong regular preliminary investigation. Okay? 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 This is for crimes with penalty of 6 years and 1 day and above. Kasi naiba na kasi, di ba dati 421 ang patakaran dyan. Ito yung sinasaad ng DC-15. Pero because of the development na nirelease kahapon, meron ng summary investigation. Okay? For crimes with penalty of um, 1 day to 1 year. Okay? So with fine, kung may fine regardless of the amount, very important, ex parte proceeding kasi yan eh. Ex parte, so paspasan talaga yan. At yung pangatlo po, as yung expedited PI. Sabihin natin EPI, no? Kasi ito RPI para shortcut mamaya. Tapos dito po, ito po yung for crimes with penalty of 1 year and 1 day to 6 years. Okay. Okay. So, paano natin malalaman? By the way, kung expedited po yan, kailangan for expedited preliminary investigation, kailangan yan only for cases under first level courts, meaning yung MPC, MCTC, Municipal Trial Court, etc., etc. And MPCs in general. Yung, so, Attorney Alvin, paano malalaman kung anong gagamitin, no? So, tignan natin yung penalty. Then, check the court jurisdiction. Kasi kung within the penalty range, pero it turns out na it falls under the second level courts, which is the regional trial court, then RPI pa rin po ang gagamitin. Okay? Hindi po pwedeng expedited. Okay? So, let's have an example. Um, slight physical injuries. Okay? Penalty for slight physical injuries is arresto menor. So, saan pupunta? Summary investigation. So, summary investigation yan. Um, uh, Summary investigation ex parte, which means hindi na kailangan ng counter affidavit. Discuss natin later on in depth. Ito, ano lang to, bird's eye view. Ngayon, kung less serious physical injuries naman, di ba? I.e., less serious physical injuries. Okay? Um, Expedited na yan. Kasi first level court jurisdiction at within 1 year and 1 day to 6 years ang penalty niya. Doon pumapasok sa dito. Okay? So, let's look at the timeline again. Sabi nga natin kanina, the department would want faster disposition and resolution of cases. So, kung summary investigation yan, okay? Kung summary investigation yan, ay immediately upon receipt. Okay? Kung RPI po yan, sabi natin kanina, 60 days. Okay? At kung expedited PI po yan, yan po ay 20 days. Okay? So, para ma-emphasize yung important areas. Attorney, pwede bang mag-file ng motion for extension? Okay? Unfortunately, hindi. Sabi ho ng Section 11 ng DC 28, pakita ko lang, saglit. DC 28. Sabi ho ng Section 11 kasi, prohibited motion ho daw yung motion for extension. So, bawal daw yung motion to dismiss except lack of jurisdiction, bawal din ang Bill of Particulars, bawal ang memoranda, bawal din yung dilatory motions for postponement. Bakit kaya? They are meant to expedite the proceedings. They want faster resolution of cases. So, probably that's the reason. So, balik tayo sa notes natin. Okay. Tingnan ito. Under Section 15 of DC 15 and Section 12 of DC 28, the prosecutor's certification has different requirements depending upon the type of investigation. So, in other words, iba po yung requirements sa prosecutor certification. Kung regular PI, okay, kung RPI po, ito po yung requirements. Okay? Person examined complainant and witnesses, prima facie evidence, accused was informed of complaint, opportunity to submit prior authority. Pero kung summary, iba yung requirements ng konti. Iba yung requirements ng konti. So, kailangan lang personally examined the complaint affidavit and evidence. Okay? Ito, same naman eh. Bakit kaya iba requirements? Kasi nga dito sa summary investigation, ex parte ho, hindi kailangan ng counter affidavit, okay? Ng respondent. Hindi ko kailangan. Pero sa regular PI, no? Kailangan binigyan mo man lang ng oportunidad na idepensa ang kanyang sarili. So, yun, punta tayo sa bird's eye view ng remedies. Okay? Okay. Motion for reconsideration. Pwede ba mag-motion for reconsideration sa regular PI? Pwede naman, 15 days. Okay? Ah, sa expedited PI, meron ba? Meron, 10 days. Okay? Summary investigation, wala eh. Meron ba? Wala. Wala. Summary investigation eh. So, how about, kasi syempre, di ba sa remedies, meron tayong tinatawag na petition for review. Okay? Yung petition for review mo, kung pumunta ka dun sa ruta na yon, if you will go that route, kailangan may motion to suspend proceedings. Okay? Tapos, for second level court cases only. And very important to understand and remember, resolutions of regional prosecutor for first level courts are final. So, pwede bang umabot sa Office of the President yung kaso? Okay? Pwede bang diba, MR, then petition for review, okay? OP, pwede. Pwede naman, pero very limited. Very limited lang. Ito lang yon. Cases punishable by reclusion perpetua to death, new material issues not previously presented, must file within 30 days and must not prescribe within 6 months. So, general rule no, exception, ito. Okay? So, also under DC-15 and DC-28, na nirelease kahapon yung DC-28, yung DC-15 several months back, we now have procedures for virtual hearings, no? Kasulad ng in-explain natin kanina. Siyempre, merong PDF, siyempre kapag may virtual hearings, meron ding virtual filing, e-filing kung tawagin. Kailangan po yan, PDF format, kailangan na tawag dito. Ito yung PDF requirement, e-filing requirement. Minimum or ito yung basic pala, basic. Sabihin natin basic e-filing requirements. Kailangan PDF lang, separate PDF for each document, must be completely legible, no password protection, no embedded codes, and most importantly, not corrupted. Kasi syempre, paano mabubuksan, di ba, kung corrupt? Paano, Attorney Aldrin, kung na-file after office hours? Okay. Paano kung na-file after office hours? Sabi po ng Section 11E, no, ng DC-15, okay, so it is deemed filed and served on the same day. Okay? It is deemed filed and served on the same day. So, kung na-file mo ng 7 o'clock, ganyan, kaya 11:59, okay? So, yan yung rule na mag-a-apply dyan. Okay? Um, pero very important to understand, we still need to submit hard copies, no? Still need to submit hard copies. Okay? Hindi lang hindi lang i-file. Okay. So kung doon sa hard copy submission, ito yung requirements doon sa hard copy submission. Okay? Original affidavit, 2 duplicates for official file, copies for each respondent, verified declaration, and e-filed copies are true and complete. Okay? Saan po yun? So, next step is video conference hearing. So, sa video conference hearing, kailangan si prosecutor i-verify niya identity, he must record everything, must reaffirm oath, and must ask clarificatory questions. So, yan lang naman yun. Paano kung may technical problem? Paano kaya kung may technical problem? That's the reason why DC-15 requires both the prosecution office, the complainant, or the LEA, and the respondent of proper ICT access. Kailangan meron tayong proper video conferencing capability. Now, let's talk about inquest. Okay, now let's talk about inquest. Kasi doon sa new rules, meron na ngayong i-inquest na nalagay under Section 14 of DC 15. Um, ano ba yung mga basic rules dito sa tawag dito sa i-inquest? Okay. It can be initiated by the prosecutor or upon request. Okay, same procedure as regular inquest, all documents in PDF, and pwedeng Zoom, pwedeng Microsoft Teams, at pwedeng Google Meet. Okay? Yan yung basic rules dyan. Applicable pa ba yung 12, 18, 36 hours? Yes. Applicable pa rin yung Article 125 kasi syempre batas to eh. Okay? Ito ay uh, this is under the legislative branch of the government. Itong BC na to is executive branch. Hindi na maamenda. So, important na tandaan natin, 12 hours pa rin yan, light penalties. 18 hours kung correctional penalties at 36 hours kung afflictive penalties. Okay? Next point. Uh, let's have a sample scenario kung saan mapupunta at kung anong procedure. Sabihin natin qualified theft. Ito, example. Example only ha. Sabihin natin qualified theft. Okay? Um, yung qualified theft, syempre depende dun sa property value, no? Depende dun sa property value. So, let's say ang ninakaw is 4,999. Okay? Yan yung property value. Okay? Eh, di ba, sabi natin, always said na uh, kapag theft, kailangan yan, umpisa may property value, at syempre, 2 degrees higher. Okay? So, sabihin natin 4,999 pesos. Ang penalty ng simple theft dyan is sa arresto mayor. Okay? Okay? Eh, so Attorney Aldrin, 2 months and 1 day to 6 months. Oh. Ibig sabihin ba, Attorney Aldrin, ah, 2 months and 1 day to 6. Ibig sabihin ba, Attorney Aldrin, papasok na yan sa summary? Okay? Pasok ba sa summary? Kasi yung summary, di ba, if we can remember, 1 day to 1 year. Okay? The answer is no kasi nga, 2 degrees higher lagi ang qualified theft. So, ang 2 degrees higher niyan is a prison mayor in its minimum period. So, 6 years and 1 day to 8 years. So, yan po ay papasok sa regular PI. Okay? Yan po ay papasok sa regular PI. Okay. So, um, actually, to my mind nga, even the lowest property value, qualified theft, at least lagi yung 6 years and 1 day imprisonment. Attorney Alvin, gusto ata ng kliyente, paano, papaspasan eh. Pwede bang, sige, sabihin natin, hindi na summary. Pwede ba expedited? Pwede ba natin ipilit sa expedited? Okay, yung qualified theft case. Kasi gusto ng kliyente, unfortunately, hindi eh. Kasi DC 28 is clear. Expedited PI is only for cases under first level courts. Okay, with penalty of 1 year and 1 day to 6 years. So, another example, sabihin natin slight physical injuries, no? Okay? Ang penalty dito is sa arresto menor. 1 to 30 days. Saan korte? MTC. Definitely. So, anong procedure? Saan ba papasok yung 1 to 30 days? Dito po ba papasok yung 1 to 30 days? Hindi eh. Dito po ba papasok yun sa RPI? Ako, hindi rin eh. So, summary siya. Okay? Meaning ex parte proceedings. Okay? Summary. Investigation. So, yun yung difference. Kapag summary procedure yan, walang counter affidavit, di ba? I-resolve immediately. Walang motion for reconsideration. Okay? Walang motion for reconsideration. Paano kung ano? Less serious. Okay? Less serious physical injuries. Penalty arresto mayor. Okay? Definitely MTC. Okay? So yan, papasok na yan sa expedited PI. Okay? Yun na yung expedited preliminary investigation. Okay? So, susunod ay yung cases involving warrantless arrest. So, sabi ng DC-15, Section 13, okay? DC-15, Section 13. Ito daw yung basic process kapag yung warrantless arrest. Kailangan i-file yung referral letter within the Article 125 period kanina na 12, 18, and 36. Okay? So yung head of office, check yung validity of the warrantless arrest, completeness of evidence. Kung valid naman, o sige, proceed tayo sa inquest. Kung kulang-kulang, i-resubmit nyo, complainant, o kaya yung law enforcement agency ng huli, o kaya private citizen na ng aresto within the Article 125 period. Ito po pa rin, 12, 18, 36. So, yun po yung proseso dyan. So, paano kung hindi valid yung arrest? Kailangan ma-release po. Hindi pwedeng ipilit yan. So, for example, drug cases. Okay, warrantless arrest under Section 5, Rule 113. Talakayin natin in a few, no? Must comply with chain of custody. Pwedeng i-inquest yan. Pero yung Article 125, kailangan strict application pa rin. So talakayin natin yung inquest. Kailan ba nag-i-inquest proceeding? Okay? Kasi di ba sinabi natin kapag inquest proceeding, nako napakabilis niyan, ma-file agad sa court. But you can ask for a preliminary investigation. Once the information is filed within 5 days from your knowledge, hingi ka agad ng preliminary investigation. Okay? Hingi ka agad ng preliminary investigation kasi yun yung sinasabi ng actually section 6 to eh. Okay. So sa preliminary investigation, di ba? Sabi natin kanina, assistant prosecutor, di ba? Siya yung magko-conduct. Tapos gagawa lang siya ng recommendation to the city prosecutor or to the provincial prosecutor as the case may be. So once ma-approve ni city or provincial yung recommendation ni assistant prosecutor, the information shall be filed in court forthwith. However, the aggrieved party, okay, meaning the respondent, can elevate the matter to the Department of Justice. So review from the city prosecutor's office to the Department of Justice via petition for review, no? Petition for review. Okay? So nasa Department of Justice na, mode of review, petition for review. Okay? Now, susunod, where will you go by determining jurisdiction of the court? Where the information will be filed in case the court finds probable cause. Kasi syempre, di ba sa court, probable cause pa rin yan. Bakit? Kasi nga yan po yung nakasaad sa Saligang Batas under Section 2, Article 3 of the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution, di ba? Upon the finding of probable cause, personally determined by the judge after examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce, particularly describing the place to be searched or the persons or things to be seized. So, for example, there is the Office of the Prosecutor General, okay? Prosecutor General and Regional Prosecutor, okay? Regional State Prosecutor. So, take note natin. So, findings ng Office of the Prosecutor, okay? Whether it be city or provincial, okay? Findings niya involves an offense which falls within the jurisdiction of the regional trial court. Okay? So, falls within the subject of preliminary investigation, which now, alam po natin na 6 years and 1 day. Dati po, 4 to 1. Okay? So, and definitely it falls within the jurisdiction of the RTC. So, if you want this reviewed, okay, you will have to go to the Department of Justice, Secretary of Justice. Okay? Kasi nga, it falls within the jurisdiction of our RTC, penalty exceeding 6 years, and there's a finding of probable cause. So, si Secretary of Justice po ang magre-review. Paano kung yung complaint was initiated by the NBI o kaya ng Philippine National Police? Okay? Okay? Coming from the Office of the Prosecutor, also elevated directly with the DOJ. Petition for review din. Okay, so ito pong mga pinagsasabi natin na to ay natatagpuan dun sa DC 27. Okay? Okay, yan. Yan yung ano dyan. Ito po yung Section 1. Di ba? Okay. So, yun po yung diniscuss natin kanina lang. Yung various government agencies yan, kunyari PNP, NBI, di ba? Okay. So, however, okay, if the finding of ito, ibasahin po natin itong Section 2 ng DC 27 dated July 13, 2022. Ito po yung basahin natin. So sabi po dito, no, sir, sabi po dito, ma'am, um, if the finding of the Office of the Prosecutor and the case will fall within the MTC in the National Capital Region, okay, MTC in the National Capital Region, you will go, i-drawing ko na nga para hindi magulo. So, okay, sabi po nito, ano, kapag galing daw po sa NCR, okay, NCR, MTC, Metropolitan Trial Court, or a Municipal Circuit Trial Court in case of Pateros, kasi syempre municipality pa rin sila. Di ba? So, NCR, MTC, NCR, okay, MCR, MTC, kapag dyan galing, magfa-file ka ng petition for review sa Prosecutor General. Okay? Prosecutor. Sa Prosecutor General daw. Okay? Sa Prosecutor General daw. Okay? In his or her capacity as RSP. Okay? Prosecutor General. Tapos, ano ba? Wala. Um, if the finding of the office of the prosecutor, di ba, you will file to MTC, no? Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Court, Municipal Circuit Trial Court, outside of NCR. Okay? Outside of NCR. Kung, kung outside NCR, ang mangyayari niyan, petition for review to the regional prosecutor diretso. Okay? So, so, i-ano natin, annotate natin. I-type ko na lang. Hirap magsulat dito. Hmm. Yan. So, different discussion. Okay. So, sabi natin kanina, no? Share screen pa ba ako? So, kung outside NCR naman po, kung outside NCR, okay, at MTC yan, okay, you go to the regional state prosecutor. Yun po yung sinasabi ng Section 2 of Department Circular number 27 series of 2022. Um, from the office of the prosecutor, if the case is to be filed in court, it is the RTC that has jurisdiction. Kapag naman po ganon, kapag naman prosecutor, tapos saan ka pupunta ngayon? RTC has jurisdiction. Okay? Punta ngayon sa DOJ via petition for review. So, yun, medyo ano lang. Yun po yung rules doon. Sinasabi ng i, uh, i-summarize na nga natin para hindi magulo. So, sabi natin kanina, di ba? Kapag uh, within NCR, MTC, okay? Within NCR, MTC, punta ka sa Prosecutor General acting as RSP. Kapag naman Office of the Prosecutor, RTCS jurisdiction, diretso ka po sa DOJ via petition for review. Ito po yung remedies niya. Okay. So, if the action is instituted by NBI o kaya Philippine National Police, petition for review sa Department of Justice din. Okay? So, yun yung rule sa DO 27. Pero, tandaan po natin, no, na dun sa DO 27, under Section 3, okay? Sabi dyan sa Section 3 na yan, the Secretary of the Department of Justice has a residual jurisdiction. Okay? Pag dating sa kanya ng papel, mukhang malito pwede kong reviewin. Okay? Pwede kong reviewin ang filing ng regional prosecutor or ng Office of the Prosecutor. So, yan yung kanyang residual jurisdiction. Okay? Meron pa rin siyang uh, kapangyarihan dyan when conducting a preliminary investigation. So, okay na yan. Let's now go to the next point. Okay? Ang susunod ay arraignment and plea. Suspension of arraignment by virtue of a petition for review. Bakit? Sabi ng Section 11, Rule 116, di ba? A petition for review, okay, shall suspend the shall cause the suspension, and the suspension shall not exceed 60 days from the filing of the petition for review from such reviewing office. So, yung filing of petition for review pala, it will suspend the arraignment. Siyempre, sabi nga natin kanina, information was filed, di ba? Information is filed. Ano susunod doon? Di ba? Determination ni judge ng probable cause. Sabi niya, okay, may probable cause. Warrant issued. Okay? Within 5 days. So, next noon, arraignment and plea. Okay? Arraignment and plea yung susunod, di ba? I-drawing natin, di ba? File, di ba? File. Susunod, determination of probable cause by judge. Issue warrant. Then, susunod, the arraignment and plea. Okay? Arraignment and plea. Now, but we have to understand and we have to remember that once the court acquires jurisdiction, syempre, sabi nga natin kanina, arraignment and plea, no? But because there is a petition for review, one of the grounds for suspension of arraignment is the pendency of a petition for review, di ba? For how long? 60 days. Okay? So yan yung effect kapag nag-file ka ng petition for review. Okay? Isa yung ground to suspend arraignment for 60 days. Not longer than 60 days, just 60 days. Pero, ang tanong dito, siyempre, the court has now acquired jurisdiction. Diba? Once the information is filed in court, jurisdiction is now with such court. Pwede mo talagang makialam ang executive branch dyan? By executive branch, I meant the Department of Justice, the Office of the Prosecutor, the Secretary of Justice, Office of City Prosecutor, Provincial Prosecutor. Pwede mo makialam? So, pwede mo makialam ang executive branch dyan. Sabi niya, umakyat yung papel sa mesa ni Secretary of Justice. Okay? Sabi niya, wala namang kaso to. Ba't nyo final? Okay? Drawing natin. Sabi natin, umakyat yung papel kay Secretary of Justice. Okay? Sabi niya, ay naku, walang ano hindi dapat to final. Okay, hindi final yan. Walang reasonable certainty of conviction. Yung prosecutor sa baba, mali. So, anong gagawin ni DOJ Secretary? Ni-reverse niya ngayon yung Office of the Prosecutor, City Provincial Prosecutor. So, sasabihin niya, mali ang ginawa mo. Move to quash. Move to dismiss the case. Saan nila ifa-file yan ngayon? Okay? For the filing of their own information. Ifa-file nila sa husgado, sa korte. Sabi natin kanina, na-file na sa korte. Diyan na po papasok yung Crespo versus Mogul. Di ba? Sabi ng Crespo versus Mogul, hindi pwedeng utusan ng executive branch yung husgado. Sige, mag-file ka, pero titignan ko, aaralin ko on my own. Yun yung sabi ng Crespo versus Mogul. The court is not bound to follow you kahit mag-file na kung ano-anong motion to dismiss, motion to question. Kasi sabi ni DOJ Secretary, mali yan Pa-dismiss mo yan. ACP, as directed by the chief. Okay? For the dismissal. Okay? So, armed with the authority from the Department of Justice, nag-file siya ngayon ng motion in court. So, ano ba, susundin na lang ng husgado yung Department of Justice? Hindi. This has been settled in jurisprudence. The judge shall conduct a separate personal determination. So, tatanggap, ay ano naman, mafa-file naman yan, pero magkakaroon po ng independent assessment si judge kung kailangan talagang i-dismiss yan. And kung i-dismiss niya just because of that without having this personal independent assessment, ay, pwede questionin niya. Pero yung dismissal na to, remember, this is not acquittal, wala pang arraignment eh. Wala pang arraignment. So, kung wala pang arraignment, um, hindi pa absuelto talaga. Eh, paano pag na-arraign na? So what if this happens after arraignment? Okay, after arraignment, and the prosecutor moves for the dismissal of the case without the express consent of the accused, and the court granted such motion. Okay, so in this instance, sabi natin kanina, accused as arraigned, entered the plea in a court of competent jurisdiction upon a proper complaint of blah blah blah, upon a proper complaint or information, blah blah blah. So, in this case, kung yun po yung mangyari, ay, nako, double jeopardy will set in. Double jeopardy will set in under Section 7, Rule 117. Di ba? Under Section 7, Rule 117. Okay? So, susunod dyan. Pero kung, yun nga, kung walang arraignment, wala pang plea, di ba? Less complicated ng a little bit. Ngayon, preliminary investigation, review by the DOJ Secretary, the effect of filing a petition for review, sabi nga natin, will suspend the arraignment for 60 days, di ba? So, ngayon, yun yung effect niyan. So, punta tayo sa next important point. Yung, syempre, sabi nga natin kanina, prosecutor conducts preliminary investigation. Okay? Prosecutor conducts inquest. Okay? In addition to that, prosecutor prosecutes the case. Nandun nga sa pangalan yan eh. So, ngayon, kailan ba nangyayari yung inquest kasi? Attorney Alvin, kailan ba talaga nangyayari yung inquest? Nangyayari po yung inquest kung merong valid warrantless arrest. Kung merong warrantless arrest. Under Section 5 of Rule 113. So, yan po yung talakayan natin kanina. Kasi sabi nga natin kanina, no? Kapangyarihan ni Fiscal, PI, inquest, prosecute. So, dito tayo sa inquest. Okay? So, ito po yung instances when a valid warrantless arrest can be effected. Okay? Number one, in flagrante delicto arrest. Okay? In flagrante delicto arrest. So, ibig sabihin, ito pwedeng gawin ng private person or the law enforcement officer. Private person or law enforcement officer when in his presence. Okay? The person to be arrested as committed is actually committing or is attempting to commit an offense. Kunyari, has committed, di ba? In his presence, nasa labas siya, nag-yosi, si police officer. Nakita niya, in his presence, sinaksak, is actually committing, sinasaksak, is attempting to commit an offense, naku, sasaksakin pa lang, in his presence. Okay, ito naman yung tinatawag na hot pursuit arrest. Okay? Hot pursuit arrest, na kung saan, hindi in his presence, pero the crime has just been committed and has probable cause to believe based on personal knowledge na yun talagang aarestuhin niya, yun yung misala na yun. Kunyari, nandun siya nakatambay siya sa labas ng police station, tapos meron siyang nakitang tumatakbo na may daladalang kutsilyo at may duguan at may mga taong bayan na mahabol sa kanya. Nakita ba niya in his presence? Hindi. Pero yes, probable cause. Di ba? So, hulihin niya ngayon. So, yan yung second option, second case, hot pursuit arrest under uh, Section 5B. So, yung susunod naman, ito, kapag tawag dito, kapag yung ah, there is rescue or attempted rescue na isang tao na nasa kustodiya na ng batas. Hindi mo pwedeng iano siya, hindi mo pwedeng palayain. O arestuhin kita kung papalayain mo siya. Okay? Arestuhin ka ng police officer. Okay? O kaya, and I will bring you to the nearest police station or jail. Okay? So, your attempt to rescue him so that he could escape, hindi pwede. Hindi pwede. O kaya siya ay serving final judgment, o kaya temporary confined lang, no? O kaya while being transferred from one confinement to another. So, yan yung mga instances na pwedeng mag-aresto ang isang police officer or private citizen. And then, kapag na-aresto sila without a warrant, magkoconduct kayo ng inquest ang prosecutor. So, kapag na-aresto na po ah, si respondent, no? Ah, si police officer, ibubuk niyo ang arrest, di ba? Naka-record naman lahat, anong oras pumasok sa presinto, anong petsa, nasa logbook. And then, yung mga police officers, meron silang joint affidavit of arrest, di ba? Susumpahan nila, paano, saan nangyari krimen, kailan, anong oras, paano ginawa, susumpahan niya. I-compile niya lahat, syempre, documents, di ba? Pictures, di ba? So, yan ngayon yung dadali nila sa Office of the Prosecutor. Okay? So, yan yung makikita nyo na nakaposa ano, sa City Hall na may kasamang police. So, ano bang basis dyan? Okay? Sabi ng, okay, sabi ng Section 6, Rule 112. Nakalagay yung iba yung mababasa formal Section 7, pero hindi na ho kasi yan eh. Kasi inamend ho yung Rule 112. Removing the conduct of PI by judges of first level courts. Kasi dati merong kapangyarihan yung judges of first level courts eh. Ngayon tinanggal po. Kaya umatras po Section 7, naging Section 6 na siya. Okay, so ito yung resource dyan kung gusto nyo tignan. May makita pa yung decision, ito yung sinasite na okay lang din. Okay lang din siguro. So, ano ba importante dito? Ang importante dito, yung sinabi natin kanina, Article 125, di ba? Yung 12, 18, 36 hours. Okay? The person has to waive Article 125. Okay? So bakit Attorney Andring? Bakit niya i-waive? Sige, di-discuss natin a little bit. Pero ang punto dito, pagka-aresto, paspasan yan. Hindi magtatagal sa presinto. Kailangan ma-file agad na information in court. The records are there, joint affidavit of arrest are there, photos are there, the pieces of evidence are there, diba? Dalin mo agad sa inquest prosecutor. Dalin mo agad sa inquest prosecutor. So, pagkadala mo ngayon, pagkadala mo sa prosecutor, pero ito, take note mo. Kasi dati, di ba, 4 years, 2 months, 1 day. We'll have to go through inquest. Pero ngayon, hindi na eh. Di ba? Again, ano ba yung mga i-inquest? Yung cases that subject to preliminary investigation. And preliminary investigation yun, 6 years and 1 day. Na, without regard to fine, 6 years and 1 day. Penalty prescribed by law. Diba? So, okay. So, 6 years and 1 day na. Yung, ah, kasi di ba sabi nito, when a person is lawfully arrested without a warrant involving an offense which requires preliminary investigation. Which requires preliminary investigation. Dati kasi, sir, 421 eh. Dati, 421. Ngayon, ito na po, sabi ng new rules. So, kung yung offense is less than 6 years and 1 day, no? Iba na rule dyan. So, kailangan, ito yung mag-a-apply na rule na. Okay? So, these are the offenses that would require preliminary investigation. It will have to go through inquest. So, paano, Attorney Aldrin, kung it does not require preliminary investigation, meaning 6 years and 1 day below? Okay? O kaya, formerly 421 below. Laya na ba? Hindi, detained. Okay, detained pa rin. Pero if it does not require preliminary investigation, papa-file na agad yung information na yon. Hindi ka ihaharap sa inquest. For example, di ba, unjust vexation, di ba? 30 days maximum. Hindi ka na idadaan. Okay? Kasi it's below 421. Ngayon, 6 years and 1 day. 6 years and 1 day. Below that. File na yan. Okay? Tignan agad if there's a reasonable certainty of conviction, formerly probable cause yung tinitignan nila, quantum of evidence. Ngayon, reasonable certainty of conviction, pero baka yung syempre mababasa natin both. Probable cause, titignan. The case is strong. Okay? So in that case, the inquest prosecutor will have a number of options. Okay? Sabihin niya, naku, malakas. Malakas yung kaso. Huling-huli na nire-rape. Okay? Huling-huli na mini-murder. Okay? Huling-huli. So, pagka ganun, diretso na yon. Diretso na. Detention. Pero kung sabi niya, mahina kaso, walang reasonable certainty of conviction or previously, the case is weak. There's no case. Didismiss na po yung kaso. Hindi-dismiss po ni inquest prosecutor. So, pero kung malakas, detain mo yan. Ibig sabihin, malakas ang kaso, reasonable certainty of conviction, detain. Pag sinabing detain, syempre dadalhin po, ibabalik doon sa police station kasi nung ini-inquest yan, nandun sa office of the prosecutor. So, babalik siya sa police station. In the meantime, yung mga records niya, mapaprocess for the purpose of filing information in court. Kasi sabi niya, detained. So, yan, detain nyo yan. Again, you cannot detain them, however, for a period longer than the period prescribed by Article 125. Okay? Just water break. Okay. Ngayon, sabi nga natin, you still cannot detain them for a period longer than that prescribed under Article 125 of the Revised Penal Code. Anong gagawin ng taong inaresto. Okay? Anong gagawin, attorney? Okay? The person arrested, okay? Ano. So the person arrested uh, can file or can ask for preliminary investigation. Okay? So maghingi siya ng preliminary investigation. Sasabihin niya, ah, bago kayo mag-file ng information, i-PI niyo muna. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ho nito, kapag nag-ask siya ng preliminary investigation, he his right to, has to waive his right under Article 125. Bakit? Kasi kapag hindi ho winive ni person arrested tong Article 125 niya, pag nag-request siya ng PI, wala naman tayong assurance na syempre yung in the meantime nakakulong ka. Okay? Baka mag-exceed ng 36 hours to, 'di ba? Makakasuhan naman po yung ating pulisya na ginagawa lang naman po nila yung trabaho nila, 'di ba? So, makakasuhan mo sila ng arbitrary detention kasi hindi nila na-file agad to the nearest judicial authority. So, kapag humingi siya ng PI, has to waive Article 125. But in the meantime, nakakulong. Nakakulong in the meantime. You cannot apply for bail kasi syempre ang bail in-applyan sa husgado, di ba? Sa husgado. Attorney Alvin, may nabasa ako mukhang pwede daw mag-bail sa kahit hindi pa na-file yung kaso sa court. Meron naman sa executive judge, um, pero in very rare instances lang yan nangyayari. Nandun yan dun sa manual for executive judges. Pwede sila mag-grant ng bail when the application is filed before the criminal case is raffled. Okay? So, saan ba yun? Manual for judges. Oh, yun yung sa manual for executive judges. Okay? So, let's go back. Uh, Next point is susunod. So, sabi natin, kanina nakadetain yung person arrested and they will prepare an information to be approved by the city prosecutor. Di ba? Paano pag sinabi, huwag muna kayo mag-file. Bigyan niyo muna ako ng preliminary investigation. Kailangan niya pwede naman mag-ask ka ng preliminary investigation pero i-waive mo yung 125 mo para hindi naman makakasuhan yung law enforcement officers. Di ba? So, kung ano naman, sabi ng inquest prosecutor, walang kaso, release na. Okay. Pero pag sinabi niya, may kaso pero yung ebidensya kulang eh. Pwedeng i-release for further preliminary investigation. Okay? Pwede i-release for further preliminary investigation. Okay? Okay. This point is, so kapag final yan, di ba, merong complaint affidavit, yung complaint ng law enforcement officer, aandar, regular PI, sabi nila. In the meantime, kung ganyan mangyari, released. Diba? So, what if naman, di ba, kapag sa inquest, ang complainant is the law enforcement officer kasi sila yung humuli eh. Sila yung humuli. In flagrante delicto or hot pursuit arrest or person detained or being rescued by somebody, di ba? Paano kung tawag dito? Trump up charges pala. Kung trump up charges yan. He may recommend the dismissal yung inquest prosecutor, right? To be approved by the city prosecutor, by his boss, city prosecutor or provincial prosecutor. So, kapag malakas nga yung kaso, sabi nga natin kanina, reasonable certainty of conviction, okay? Ifa-file na yung information in court. Okay? So, once the information is filed in court based on Section 6, okay, within 5 days from the time he learns of its filing, pwede pa rin siya mag-ask ng preliminary investigation. Okay? So, yung sinabi natin kanina, before the information is filed in court, ngayon, after the information is filed in court. Ang hinihingi niya ay preliminary investigation. So, based on the guidelines of continuous trial, for that to be entertained kasi kapag na-file na sa korte, no? For that to be a uh, meritorious, it should be applied within 5 days from knowledge. So, yun nasabi ng continuous trial. Kapag after 5 days na, wala na yan. Okay? So, yan yung discussion sa inquest, preliminary investigation, and interplenary. So, before filing information in court, pwede mag-waive ka ng Article 125. After the information has been filed in court, okay, pwede ka mag-ask ng preliminary investigation, but do so within 5 days. Okay? So, that is the process of inquest. So, that is the process of inquest. Ngayon, punta tayo dun sa um, uh, updates. Balikan natin yung updates sa inquest, sa preliminary investigation, diba? Okay? So, first important point is yung uh, department circular um, shares ko na. Shares. Department Circular number 15, dated July 16, 2024. Oh, no, just, wala. Okay. Yan. So, sabi ng rules, no? Ang inquest daw is yung informal and summary investigation conducted by the prosecutor, di ba? Pero what is new? Nandyan naman yan sa old rules. Meron na kasing i-inquest. So, i-inquest, ibig sabihin, inquest through video conferencing. Sabi natin kanina, using technology. Ngayon, diniscuss rin natin kanina, law enforcement agency or LEA, or private citizen in case of citizen's arrest. Yung proseso dyan, magfa-file sila ng referral letter. Okay? Yung referral letter na yan, kailangan original plus 2 duplicate copies or official file plus copies for each respondent. So, andyan pa rin yung 12, 18, 36. Di ba? Andyan pa rin yung 12, 18, and 36 hours. Okay? So, yan. After ng referral letter, di ba? By the way, merong ano dito, merong if the person under custody is a child in conflict with the law, ang titignan daw natin is RA 9344 as amended by RA 10630 kasi may special rules sila. So, yan. Once the referral is letter, di ba? Once the referral letter is filed, anong ibig sabihin, anong susunod? The docket section will now forward it to the head prosecutor or designated prosecutor. So, once nandiyan na yun sa mesa, he will have to determine two things. Listen carefully. Number one, the validity of the warrantless arrest. Okay? Okay? The validity of the warrantless arrest. Kasi kailangan nating malaman kung i-continue pa ba in custody ang taong arrested na yan. Second point, kailangan tignan if the evidence is complete. Okay? Kung kulang yung ebidensya, they will ask the LEA or law enforcement officer or private citizen to complete it within Article 125 period. Di ba? Yung maximum 36. Kung hindi mo kompleto, what happens? The person should be released and the records ibabalik sa kanila, ibabato agad, pabalik dun sa nag-aresto. Pwede na i-refile, pwede. Pwede. Ngayon, kung invalid yung warrantless arrest, invalid, i-release nyo yan, wala nang question dyan. So, very important yun. Doon naman sa actual inquest proceeding, okay, merong responsibilidad yung prosecutor to make sure that the respondent has counsel, number one. He must check, huling pa ba ako? Okay. He must check if counsel received the referral and the attachments. He must explain to the arrested person the nature of the proceedings, the charges against him, and the option for preliminary investigation. So, kung gusto niya mag-PI, mag-waive siya ng Article 125. Okay? Pero unlike dun sa luma, express na nakalagay dito. Kasi dun sa luma, walang express eh. Ngayon, kahit may waiver na, apply ka pa rin ng bail. At dapat matapos yung investigation within 15 calendar days. Okay? So, yung i-inquest naman, the inquest prosecutor can initiate this or the LEA or private citizen can request it. Diba? Sabi nga natin kanina, both the prosecutor and the parties must have ICT access. Hindi lang pwede isa lang yung may malakas na internet connection at computer. Same din sa regular inquest, kailangan yung referral letter and documents, di ba? PDF form, e-file sa official email ng prosecution office. Proceedings, pwedeng Zoom, pwedeng Microsoft Teams, pwedeng Google Meet. Okay? During the video conference, inquest prosecutor kailangan tignan niya, verify niya yung identities of the parties. Kailangan tignan niya, kailangan i-record niya lahat sa minutes, kailangan mag-administer siya ng oath at kailangan i-clarify niya lahat ng factual issues. Crucial yun. Pag mag-avail ng preliminary investigation respondent, during e-inquest, may special procedure. Kasi si LEA, law enforcement officer or counsel, will facilitate the signing of the Article 125 waiver. Itatransmit na lang nila ngayon via email yung signed waiver. Pero kahit i-inquest to, kailangan pa rin yung hard copy requirement. Okay. So, yan yung sa update sa inquest. So, paano naman yung sa PI? Okay. Paano naman yung sa preliminary investigation, Attorney Aldrin? Okay. Paano naman yung sa PI? So, sabi nga lang Rule 4, no? Okay. Uh, this is very important. the prosecutor now needs to consider if case build-up or CBU has been conducted in cases where it's necessary, no, under Section 5, Department Circular number 20, dated March 31, 2023. So isa pa, tignan niya kung may prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty. Aba, ibig sabihin nun, attorney, hindi lang pwede i-emphasize na may prima facie evidence, kailangan may reasonable certainty for the respondent's conviction. So, ang taas ng standard, di ba? Mataas yung standard. Isa pa, merong virtual preliminary investigation. Kanina may virtual inquest, ito may EPI or virtual PI, no? Syempre, both parties must be present at the initial hearing at kailangan meron silang ICT facility. So, punta tayo sa Section 8 parties. No? So, ang partido dito, complainant, which might be the offended party, natural juridical person, okay, person authorized by law to file for the offended party, LEA, o kaya public entity. For respondent naman, syempre, yan naman yung person na, yun yung tao na kinakasuhan. So, Section 9. Okay? Section 9, submissions. Sa Section 9, pinaka-importante dito, yung complaint affidavit, counter affidavit, reply affidavit, rejoinder affidavit. Okay? So, all these affidavits must be sworn before a prosecutor or government official authorized to administer oath. Kung wala, pwede sa notary public. That's the order of preference. Nakalagay din naman to dun sa revised rules of criminal procedure. Ni-reiterate lang nila. Pwede ba mag-motion for bill of particulars in lieu of counter affidavit? Bawal. Okay? Okay? Bawal ang motion for bill of particulars. Okay. Yung extension naman, kailangan may abogado at yung pangailangan niya is for examination of voluminous documents and the need to study complicated legal issues. Maximum of 10 days. Okay? Maximum of 10 days. So, dito tayo sa procedure proper. So, sabi natin kanina, file ka ng original complaint, affidavit, diba? Plus 2 duplicate copies for official file, additional copies for respondents sa inquest referral letter. Yun lang ba? Kailangan din may NPS, IDF, yung investigation data form. Hindi pwede kalimutan. Ngayon, before madakit yung complaint, yung head of prosecution office, check niya muna. Number 1, is it sufficient informed? Number 2, completeness. Is it complete in terms of evidence? Kasi kung kulang, pwede niya ibato pabalik dun sa complainant o dun sa LEA. Mag-submit mo, kaya kayo kompletuhin nyo muna yung papeles nyo. Hindi yung kulang-kulang, isasubmit nyo dito. Hindi kami taga-follow up ng mga kulang-kulang documents. So, within 5 calendar days, no? Okay, within 5 calendar days, yung investigating prosecutor, he has or she has 2 options. Number 1, recommend the dismissal. Okay, kung walang basis. Number 2, issue subpoena for preliminary investigation hearing. So ito yung importante. The hearing cannot exceed 30 days from receipt ng case records. And the respondent must have at least 10 days from receipt ng subpoena to submit his counter affidavit. Paano kung maraming documents? Okay? Kung maraming documents, voluminous records, okay? Sige, set tayo ng separate date for the respondent to get the records at least 10 days before the PI hearing. Pag physical evidence naman, i-examine natin yan. Pwede ka mag-take ng pictures at your own expense. Paano yung counter affidavit? Di ba? Paano yung counter affidavit? Hindi na, kailangan ba ng personal appearance? Okay? Only if, the counter affidavit was properly sworn to before a prosecutor or authorized official. Ito pa importante. No more motion to dismiss in lieu of counter affidavit. unless verified by respondent at unless meron siya mga depensa. Otherwise, it will be treated as his counter affidavit. Paano kapag hindi sumipot si respondent? Okay? Paano kung hindi sumipot si respondent? Check ni prosecutor, tama ba yung address in the complaint? Okay? Yung last known address, tama naman. Walang justified reason for non-appearance sa submitted for resolution na. Okay? Submitted for resolution na. Okay. Clarificatory hearing. Okay. Clarificatory hearing, after receiving the counter affidavit, merong dalawang options si prosecutor. Number one, he can consider the case submitted for resolution. Number two, he can set a physical or virtual clarificatory hearing within 10 calendar days. Okay? Again, pagka-submit ng pagka-receive ng counter affidavit si prosecutor, okay, submitted for resolution na yan. Or, sige, clarificatory hearing muna tayo. Pero tandaan, yung clarificatory hearing, yung attendance nyo, mandatory yan, ha? Mandatory. So, pwede ba mag-virtual PI? Pwede. Pero kailangan yung specific requirements masunod. Una, kailangan sabihin ano ni investigating prosecutor na yung virtual PI will help in fair, speedy, and efficient administration of justice, conditions under Section 7, and must agree yung mga parties. So, kailangan mag-agree sila parties. So, before ending the initial face-to-face hearing, the prosecutor will issue an order. Official email address, schedule ng clarificatory hearing, deadline ng submission ng hard copies, date and time ng video con, access details, yung link at passcode at other parameters. So, katulad din sa kanina, PDF format, completely legible, di pwedeng password protected, di pwedeng encrypted, at wag naman corrupted. Okay, hard copies, original affidavit plus 2 duplicates, no? Sulat na nga natin. Ay, hindi. Mawawala yung ano. Anyway, stay here na lang. Okay. So, kung hard copies yan, original affidavit plus 2 duplicates, it must be submitted personally or by accredited courier, pwede. Verified declaration na na-file mo ang hard copy, na-file mo ang electronic copy. At during video conference, kailangan reaffirm mo ang oath mo. Mandatory recording at prosecutor can examine affiance. Kung hindi nag-comply sa requirements, late e-filing, waive na. Sorry. Hindi legible ang PDF, nako, not considered filed. No verified declaration expunged, excluded from the records, itatapon. So pwede ba extend yung deadline? Maximum 10 days. Kung meron kang meritorious grounds. Okay? Kung meron kang meritorious grounds. Okay. So, sabi natin kanina, quantum of evidence for preliminary investigation under Rule 2, Section 5 of this DC, no, is new. So, sabi din natin at the beginning yan, prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. Okay? At kailangan evidence must be admissible, credible, capable of being preserved, capable of being presented. At evidence must establish all elements of the crime, identity of persons responsible, at kasama yung evaluation of the counter evidence of the respondent. So real evidence, testimonial evidence, okay? Real evidence, Ngayon, if the evidence is left uncontroverted, it should be enough to warrant conviction beyond reasonable doubt. Yun po yung standards ngayon. So, punta tayo sa disposition of cases. Water break lang. Okay. Sa disposition of cases naman, it defines two things, no? Number one, resolution. Number two, information. Yung resolution, yan po yung ruling ng prosecutor. Information, yan naman yung accusation in writing. So ano ba requirements para sa certification ng prosecutor? Okay? The prosecutor must certify under oath that he has personally examined the complainant and the witnesses. He has prima facie evidence with the reasonable certainty of conviction. Accused was informed and given opportunity to submit evidence at prior authority. Sa inquest naman, katulad ng sinabi kong apat kanina, with an additional certification that the accused, okay, didn't ask for PI and there's no waiver of Article 125. Okay? There's no waiver of Article 125. So what if walang prima facie evidence of reasonable certainty of conviction? Dismiss ang complaint. Okay? Dismiss ang complaint. Kailangan may authority approval ng head ng prosecution officer. Pero dismissal to without prejudice. So pwedeng i-refile kung may additional evidence ka or after further case build up. So, okay. So tignan natin. Punta tayo dun sa Microsoft Word ulit. So sabi natin kanina, investigating prosecutor recommends dismissal. Eh yung head of office disapproves. Eh may prima facie evidence, ba't mo dinismiss? Ano mangyayari ngayon? Ngayon, yung head of office has now two options. Okay? Two options niya. Pwede niyang i-file information directly o kaya direct another prosecutor to file without conducting another PI. Eh paano kung may prima facie evidence of reasonable certainty? Simple lang. Resolution recommending filing information, then prepare the information. Okay? So, ganun lang yun. Yung period to resolve cases, diniscuss natin kanina, di ba? Regular PI, 60 days, 30 days in some cases. Yung head of office, 5 calendar days. Pag action by prosecutor general or city prosecutor or provincial prosecutor, 10 calendar days. Promulgation, 5 days from approval. Pag inquest naman, ito importante. Inquest, within the day. Okay? Within the day. Ano naman ang remedies? Ano naman ang remedies mo under sections 18 and 19? Okay? Ito yung remedies. Motion for reconsideration, 15 days. Okay? Pwede mo mag-petition for review? Pwede naman. Petition for review. Based on DC number 27, yung diniscuss natin kanina. But suspend mo rin pension. Diba? Yung proceedings. However, very important, yung resolution ni Prosecutor General for first level courts as final. Okay? For second level courts naman, importante dyan, Secretary of Justice, resolution ni Secretary of Justice, final and executory na. Okay. Final and executory. Pwede ba mag-MR dito sa petition for review? Pwede. Section 20. 15 days from receipt, pero kailangan verified. Okay? Pwede mag-MR dito. Section 20 in this. Okay? So, punta tayo dun sa inisyu kahapon, yung summary investigation and expedited preliminary investigation. This just came out yesterday, November 13, 2024. So right now, we are talking November 14, 2024. So, dalawa yung pinaliwanag nung inisyu kahapon na DC, summary investigation at expedited PI. Kasi yung regular PI, diniscuss na po nung DC-15. Okay. So, kailan applicable? Again, reiteration lang naman. Okay. Pag summary investigation, 1 day and 1 day to 1 year. Kapag expedited PI, 1 year and 1 day to 6 years. Okay. So, yung procedure, complaint affidavit, original, 2 copies, copies for respondents, same lang. IDF, assisting prosecutor, within 3 days, if complete, docket and sign. If incomplete, immediately resolve. Ito importante. Iano ko muna yung, let's pull out the DC-28. Okay. Okay. Sabi po ng DC-28, two types of investigation nga, yung summary investigation at EPI. Okay? Tapos, kapag ang timeline yan, if sufficient informed, complete evidence, bakit na yan? Transmit kay investigating prosecutor. Kung kulang, mag-case build up within 20 days. So, kailangan kapag in-evaluate ni prosecutor yan, dalawa titignan. Number 1, is it sufficient informed? Number 2, yung completeness ng evidence ba? Tama ba? Kompleto ba? Okay? So, bakit ba expedited? Kasi nga, expedited kasi expedited kasi 1 year and 1 day to 6 years yan and under the jurisdiction of the first level courts. Pero may exception dyan. Kung ang kaso recognizable by the regional trial court kahit within that penalty range, no, regular PI pa rin, hindi pwedeng i-expedite. So yan po yung distinction dyan. Filing requirements, same lang naman. Di ba? Pwede ba mag-rejoinder dito sa expedited? Pwede ba mag-reply? Hindi. This is the way, this is how it is different from regular PI. No reply affidavit. Okay? No rejoinder affidavit. Clarificatory hearing, pwede ba? Pwede. 5 days from submission of counter affidavit. Okay, so yun po yung mga prohibited motions, prohibited pleadings. Motion to dismiss, except lack of jurisdiction, bill of particulars, extension of time, memoranda, and dilatory motions. Paano kung may violation, Attorney Aldrin? Pwede bang i-subject to Rule 65? Hindi pwedeng mag-certiorari. Okay? Okay. So, punta tayo sa disposition of cases. So, sa summary investigation, okay, diniscuss natin kanina to. Inulit lang yung personal examination ng complaint affidavit, yung evidence, prima facie evidence with the reasonable certainty of conviction, at yung prior authority. For EPI, expedited PI naman, na may counter affidavit. Ganun din. Okay? Kaibahan lang, may respondent must file counter affidavit. So, ano ko ano, yung requirements para saan ba yung annotate natin. Yan. Yan, ando ko lang. Okay. 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 So, wala. Okay. So, sa summary investigation, ah importante, matandaan natin, no? Sa summary investigation, immediate resolution yan, pagkatanggap pa lang. Okay? Immediate resolution. How about um, immediate resolution pagkatanggap ng records at 5 days for Prosecutor General, City Prosecutor, Provincial Prosecutor to act. Kung expedited PI yan, 20 calendars naman. 20 calendar days naman from receipt of records. And after CBU, after case build up at docketing sa Prosecutor General, City or Provincial Prosecutor to act 5 days ulit. Saan na ba? So again immediate resolution kapag summary investigation. Attorney Aldrin, yan yung sinabi, yan yung kakasabi ko lang. May remedy ba kung hindi pabor yung resolution? Meron under Section 14, no? For expedited PI, pwede kang mag-motion for reconsideration within 10 calendar days. Okay? Paano kung summary investigation? Unfortunately, walang motion for reconsideration na allowed. Okay? Okay. So, I think that's it. Meron pa ba dito? So, kaya walang MR, siguro na nilagay sila sa summary investigation kasi nga, syempre, the summary investigation is meant to be quick, it's meant to be simple, it's meant to be ex parte. Kung papayagan pa ng MR, naku, magkakatagal-tagal yan. Mawawala na yung essence ng summary, di ba? So, yun yun. So, yeah. So, yan yung discussion natin for today. We hope that you learned something. We discussed preliminary investigation, summary investigation, inquest, disposition. Yeah. Um, so yeah, ang daming bago. We have to change and adapt to our times. Diba? Ganun talaga. So we have to ensure that justice is served fairly and efficiently. Kaya nire-release itong mga bagong circulars na to at bagong rules. By the way, sasabihin mo, Attorney Aldrin, nabasa ko sa Constitution, di ba? The rulemaking power is with the Supreme Court. Di ba? Ano pinagsasabi mo na effective ba yan? Yung rules na yan? Opo, effective. Kasi sabi, Attorney Aldrin, di ba rulemaking power is with the Supreme Court under Article 8? Oh, ang pinagsasabi mo, SC magde-decide ang magpo-promulgate niyan, hindi ang DOJ. Ito po, sabi po ng sabi ho ng Korte Suprema, okay? Administrative Matter number 24-02-09, okay? Promulgated May 28, 2024. Sabi po nila, the court hereby recognizes the authority of the Department of Justice to promulgate its 2024 DOJ rules. Okay? So, um, Sabi nila, pertinent provisions of Rule 112 are deemed repealed insofar as it is inconsistent with the rules of promulgated circulars by the DOJ. Okay? Yeah. Thank you very much for listening. It's Attorney Alden Gregorio.